All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you already know what time it is, and right here, right now, we are here with California's finest. We got Meez right here, live on the line, man. How are you doing this evening?
And I'm blessed. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I gotta say, man, I've been looking at a lot of stuff, man, and California seems to be getting back to normal, man. It must be dope to actually kind of just get back to normal life, especially out there in California, man.
Yeah, most definitely, man. It's been rough being on lockdown and all that, but we finally able to get back outside and, be around people and stuff, so it's a blessing.
But I know you're a busy guy, man, so I'm going to dive right into this interview, but I want to take you back to the very beginning, and I have to ask, what made you decide to get into the music industry initially?
Initially I always had a passion and a love for it. I started out just as a fan, just listening and seeing other people do things, and it excited me, man, and it made me passionate about wanting to do music. And then my first real dive into it was when my mom entered me and my brother into a kind of like a talent show for a radio station at the Black Expo in Indiana. And I was around maybe about, I don't know, maybe like 6, 7 years old.
And I gotta say as well, man. So your roots definitely run deep, especially just right back to when you just said it, as being a little kid.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, I started real young, just listening, and just loving music and loving everything that surrounded it, man. The culture of it all, you know what I mean?
And also as well, man, taking you to the year 2019 on December 15th, you actually released the mixtape titled Cold Game Volume 1. I was wondering, what's the story behind that iconic project, and of course, is it still available to be purchased or streamed today?
Yeah, it's still available. I got with I would want to say I got with the record label when I was when I was a little bit younger. I was probably maybe around like, I don't know, maybe like 16 or so, and they were called Pyrex Records, and that was the first project that I released under their label. And yeah, it was just my first body of work and the first time that I actually put all my thoughts together into one project and put it out for people to listen to.
And I gotta say as well, me personally, man, I really enjoyed that record, man. I really loved back in the day how a lot of people, individuals like yourself, did the whole mixtape stuff, man. Because unfortunately, mixtapes are kind of a thing of the past nowadays.
Right. Yeah. It used to be real popular, back in the day, but yeah, I wish they would bring it back because it's just more consistent on the music basis, and you would hear from your favorite artists more consistently. Because they putting those out in between projects just to keep people listening and whatnot. But yeah, people don't do it no more.
And also as well, man, just a few years later in the year 2011, you were actually featured on Mac Reese's Fairfields Most Hated album. I was wondering, how did yourself and Mac Reese get connected? And of course, what was it like working on Fairfields Most Hated alongside him?
It was a dope experience. I actually met him because he contacted me originally first for a feature, and we're also from the same city. So, we all hear about each other, you know what I mean, through the streets and whatnot, and hear about who's making music and all that. And he reached out and wanted to do some work, and I was open for it just to collaborate with other artists.
And I gotta say, man, I really enjoyed that collaboration, man. Your guys' chemistry on that record was phenomenal, man. A lot of amazing talent that really does come out of Fairfield, California.
Yeah, we got a lot of artists here. I feel like as far as in the Bay Area and California rap scene, we're kind of slept on. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm biased because I'm from here, but I think we have a lot of talent here that people need to recognize and take heed to.
And also as well, October 6th, 2013, you actually teamed up with 2E's to actually release the collaborative EP titled No Traffic. I was wondering if you can tell us a bit more about this amazing EP. And of course, what was it like just working in the studio on those 10 songs with him?
Well, that was natural. Too Easy is actually my older brother, same mom, same dad. So, and he was actually a part of the talent show that I mentioned when I was a kid. He's about 3 years older than me, and we both did that together. So we both grew up just loving music and all that stuff. And he's also a super talented artist, you know what I mean? So it was only right that me and him got together to do something. And we always have a competitive nature, so we were trying to outdo each other on the project, and it just came together to make the project even better.
And I gotta say as well, my favorite song off that record will always be "Loud." And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's featuring Young Gully. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's correct. Me and Gully.
Yeah, man, always my go-to joint when I actually kick back and listen to that record, man.
Man, thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
And also as well, July 12th, you actually released one of your solo records titled The 700. I was always wondering, man, what is the story and inspiration behind that amazing project? And of course, is it still available to be purchased or streamed today?
Yes, it's still online, and just the story about it is, I kind of coined the phrase the 700 because our area code is 707, and I created a song a while back called 707, and then I kind of just shorted it just to give it a new meaning to our area code. So that's why it's called the 700. And yeah, that was just me growing as an artist and kind of finding my voice and finding what I wanted to do and linking up with different people and trying to do something for the city. So I wanted that to kind of embody what it was about.
And also as well, man, just a few years later, you actually were featured on infamous Caboose single titled Never Had to Say. I was wondering, how did yourself and Infamous get connected? And of course, what was it like just being in the studio and working on that project with him?
Well, Infamous is another artist from Fairfield, and yeah, I used to always hear his name a lot, and we eventually linked up, and now we're essentially label mates, and we created what we're doing now called BFA, and it was just natural working with him. That's like my brother from another. That's what BFA stands for, and that's why we say that, because that's my family, because blood couldn't make us closer, and it was just a natural feeling. We got a whole lot of music together. But yeah, that was one of the more notable records that people know.
And I gotta ask, man, like, do you guys actually have any further plans in the future to actually do any more collaborations? 'Cause I gotta say, you guys were phenomenal on that joint together.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. We actually have a lot of songs together. All of them aren't released, but we're always recording and doing things. But yeah, we plan on releasing a whole lot more music. Like I said, he's a label mate of mine. We're probably going to end up doing a project together at some point and all that stuff. So it's a beautiful thing, man. We're definitely much more to come.
And also as well, man, September 17th of this year, you actually dropped your latest release titled Huh. I was wondering if you can actually tell our listeners a bit more about this phenomenal single. And of course, where can we actually purchase it or stream it today?
Well, it's available on all streaming platforms, Tidal, iTunes, Apple Music, etc. And it's still available, so you can stream and download it right now. It's on YouTube also, the music video. We're approaching about 10,000 views in about a week. And the whole idea of the song was just to do something. I feel like I get kind of complicated with my wordplay and with my rapping and whatnot. So I tried to do something a little bit simpler and a little bit more catchy that people could easily sing along to, because that's just kind of the thing that people are doing right now. So I wanted to challenge myself to do something like that, and yeah, it came out great, man. A lot of blogs, about 15 blogs, and picked it up. It's in rotation in a few different places, and it's climbing, man.
I was actually just about to say that, man, that, like, I've seen all these blogs and article websites actually pick it up, man. They said nothing but phenomenal things about the single, man. So I'm going to say it's definitely going to keep climbing up those charts, man. You know what I mean? Because people are loving it.
Absolutely, man. I'm just blessed to, have all these talented bloggers and writers give me an in-depth, deep dive on what they really think about the record, and I can't help but smile every time I read the words and things that they're saying about it.
And also as well, just last month on August 7th, you actually had the opportunity to perform at the Boss's Bash featuring the one and only Mystical. I was wondering, what was it like to actually get back on stage, of course, after these past 2 years with the pandemic? And of course, did you get the opportunity to meet Mystical before or after the show?
Yeah, to answer the first question, it was beautiful, man, just to be on stage and see all the people after not being around that many people in so long, and it was refreshing. You know what I mean? This is something I love to do, so it was a natural high for me. And yeah, Mystical is a cool individual. I met him after. I got to meet him briefly afterwards. He flew in kind of like right before the show, so we didn't have a whole lot of time to politic and whatnot. But yeah, he's definitely a cool individual, good person to work with. He showed us a lot of love as far as coming to the show and everything, and he did good business, of course, because that's something that we all had a hand in throwing on the business end. So it was a beautiful experience.
But I have to ask, man, what is next for yourself, Ice Meez, man? Is there anything I actually had the anything I actually missed, anything else you still want to have the opportunity to talk about or promote? Well, we still got you here live on the Canadian airwaves this evening.
Well, I'm just going to continue to release quality music, you know what I mean? Everybody can follow me, of course, on all social media handles at Ice Meez. It's ICEMEEZ. And yeah, I got another video. As soon as my last video hits 10,000 views, I'm going to release another song called Mogul. And I got probably like 6 or 7 other songs that are ready to go behind that. I'm just going to continue to stay consistent and stay pushing out stuff. Eventually, I might do a full-length project, but right now I'm kind of more focused on singles just to, spread it out and be able to stay in their face on a consistent basis. And yeah, more shows, man, more positivity. We're just going to continue to grow. Shout out all my guys at BSA. That's the label that we're running with. Or it's more of a collective. It's not a official record label. It's more of a collective of artists that are coming together and doing everything together, but it's going in that direction. So we're going to make sure that we, follow our dreams and continue to stay consistent with people.
And also, Ice, this is the time in the interview, man, that I give a chance for the individual, right before we wrap things up, just a chance to give, shout-outs to whomever they want to give shout-outs to, but most of all, your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated on everything California's finest, Ice Meez, if they're not already doing so.
Yeah, my social media handle on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all of that is Ice Meez. It's spelled ICEMEEZ. And you can find me on all platforms. You can look me up on iTunes and Amazon Music, Google Play, Tidal, Apple Music, all that type of stuff. I have a whole bunch of records that people might enjoy. I want to give a shout-out to my team, BSA, my whole team. It's a lot of us. So I just want to shout out all my fellas. And, I want to shout out my daughter, of course, because that's who I do it for. And she's my, she's my heart, man, and my motivation. And shout out my mom and the rest of my family for believing in my craft. And shout out the whole city of Fairfield for rocking with me. And shout out to Outlaw Radio for having me.
Hey, man, I gotta say, you are most certainly welcome, and it definitely was an honor and most definitely a privilege just to welcome such an amazing, talented West Coast hip-hop artist like yourself on 97.7 FM this evening, man. It definitely was an honor. Thank you so much, man, and definitely have yourself a wonderful evening.
All right, you too, man. Y'all take it easy. Be safe.
Most definitely, man. You as well.